Foggy Mountain Rock. We hope you enjoyed that number there. That's kind of one of the numbers that got the hip skip. Let's go over and join Gene Cannon for a summary of the late headline news and wrap up on the weather. What's the weatherman got in store for us, and what's the news, Gene?
Two on the Aisle presents a movie that you're sure to enjoy each weekday afternoon at 4:30 on Channel 7. WSPA-TV, Spartanburg.
Live from the studios of WSPA-TV in Spartanburg is Carolina Showtime. 60 minutes of music interspersed with news, weather, the Carolina calendar. Carolina Showtime features Mr. Five Strings himself, Don Reno, and his Tennessee cut-ups. And here he is right now, Don Reno.
All right, thank you, Gene Cannon, and pleasant good morning to you, neighbors. Welcome to Carolina Showtime, rolling your way from Channel 7 WSPA-TV right here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. All the cut-ups are on hand and ready to kind of entertain you for a full hour. Let's get things rolling with the Fireball Mayo, fellas. Bit of a toe kicker there to get things rolling here on Carolina Showtime. Now to kindly put you to a soothing, easy kind of a restful mood, here is Chuck Haney to do a real pretty number for you called Falling Back to You.
Yes, I keep falling back to you. falling back to you. I can't forget the past we knew. So many times I've had you on my mind, and it seems I just can't leave the past behind. I know you've been untrue, dear, but oh, what can I do? For every time the sun goes down, I fall right back to you. Yes, I keep falling back to you. What else can I do? I keep falling back to you. I can't forget the past we knew. I just can't leave the past behind. I know you've been untrue, dear, but oh, what can I do? For every time the sun goes down, I fall right back to you. Yes, I keep falling back to you. What else can I do? I keep falling back to you. I can't forget the past we knew. All right.
Thank you, Chuck. Some fine singing, falling back to you. Thank you, Gene Cannon. It's hymn time on the show, and here's the quartet to do one called Lonely Tomb. Strolling one day through a lonely graveyard when a voice from the dune seemed to say, I once lived as you lived, walked and talked as you talked, but from earth I was soon called away. Oh, those tunes, lonely tunes seem to say a low, gentle tone. Oh, how sweet is the rest in our beautiful heavenly home. Then I came to the place where my mother was laid, and in silence I stood by her tomb. And a voice from the tomb seemed to whisper and say, living man, you must soon follow me. All those tunes, lonely tunes seem to say in a low, gentle tone. Oh, how sweet is the rest in our beautiful heavenly home. If you'd like to hear a favorite number done here on Carolina Showtime, be sure and let us know by your cards and letters, and we'll do our dead level best to get your favorite number on the show just as soon as we possibly can. We'd like to remind you, neighbors, where all the cut-ups will be appearing in person this coming weekend. Saturday night, we'll be at Cat Square Grand Ole Opry, along with our good friend Jimmy Shoemate. That's 15 miles from Hickory, North Carolina, close to Vale, North Carolina, on Route 1. You can't miss it. Just ask anybody up in that part of the country where it's at, and they can tell you. Make plans to come out and join us and be with us and enjoy yourself and have a great big time. The following Saturday night, I believe we'll be in Cleveland, Ohio, and then along about the 27th of February, we'll be in Union, South Carolina, at the Union High School, entertaining all the neighbors down that way. kind of keep these dates in mind, and when we're in or near your community, come out and visit with us, because it's always nice to visit with the folks that watch our show here on Carolina Showtime each morning. So it's about 10 minutes after 7 o'clock, in case you're interested in what time it is this morning. If you got anything you got to do or a big hurry you may be in, kind of keep your eye on the old clock. If you don't keep your eye on the clock, we'll keep you informed of the time here on Carolina Showtime, right, Gene?
First off, get up and get out of bed. How was your trip up this morning? You know, Don lives down in Union. He makes a run up here every morning.
It was raining every step of the way.
Yes, it
Now will you love me, little darling, when I'm in some other land? And you know I can't be with you. Will you be loving another man? Will you be loving another man? Will you be loving another man? When I return, will you be waiting? Or will you be loving another man? Now if you find this to be true, dear, I want you to please understand. When I return, don't say you're sorry. Keep on loving another man. Will you be loving another man? Will you be loving another man? When I return, will you be waiting? Or will you be loving another man? Will you be loving another man? Will you be loving another man? When I return, will you be waiting? Or will you be loving another man? I pray I'll never come yours. There is
Live from the studio of WSPA-TV in Spartanburg, it's Carolina Showtime. 60 minutes of music interspersed with the news, the weather, the Carolina calendar. Carolina Showtime features Mr. Five Strings himself, Don Reno, and his Tennessee cut-ups. Right now, here he is himself, Don Reno.
Well, pleasant good morning to you, neighbors, and welcome to Carolina Showtime. Rolling your way from Channel 7, WSPA-TV, right here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. All the cut-ups are on hand, feeling real good and all set to entertain for a full hour for you. Let's get things rolling with one called Snowed Air, fellas. up your bow. We're going to play a little tune called Cotton Eye Joe, and that was Ray Crisp. Really played it for you. Thank you a lot, Ray. Can't beat him, can't tie him, can't touch him with a 10-foot pole when it comes to old-time fiddling. He's a good young'un, that boy is. Thank you, Gene Cannon. 18 minutes after the hour of 7, and here's Chuck Haney to sing the beautiful Carolina Waltz. Say, that's some real fine singing from Chuck Haney, the Carolina Waltz. We've had a lot of cards and letters saying they like Chuck singing, a lot of cards and letters saying they like Ray Crisp singing, the quartet. Anything you like on Carolina Showtime, be sure and let us know. We'll try to get your favorite on the show just as soon as we possibly can. A lot of the folks say they like the electric guitar, and if you do, maybe here's a number that you'll enjoy. A real good friend of mine, old Sugarfoot Garland, from right here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, wrote this number. In fact, Sugarfoot used to play along with me and some fellas on WSPA along about 1946 before he and I went to the Grand Ole Opry. We hope you'll enjoy this one called the Sugarfoot Rag. A little bit of Sugarfoot Rag. We hope you neighbors enjoyed a whole lot.
I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more want
satisfied with just a cottage below, a little bit of silver and a little bit of gold. But in that homeland where the ransom will really shine, I want a gold one that's silvery lined. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never go. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk on streets that our fear has gone. Our inspirational number of the morning mentioned Over the Hilltop, and we'd like to do that especially for all of our sick and shut-in neighbors here, and wherever you may be, hospitals or maybe at home in bed, we hope that you'll have a very speedy recovery. About 27 and a half minutes after the hour of 7 now, neighbors, time to get up and rise and shine to Carolina Showtime right here at WSPA-TV of Spartanburg, South Carolina. Chuck, let's do We'll Meet Again, Sweetheart. Well, the time has come to say goodbye. I'm asking you, please don't cry. The time to be won't be too long, and we'll be happy once again. Someday we'll meet again, sweetheart. We'll meet and never more to part. Someday we'll meet again, sweetheart. Don't break my heart, yeah. Well, goodbye, I'm leaving now. Yes, I must be on my way. But remember what I say, sweetheart, we'll meet again someday. Someday we'll meet again, sweetheart. We'll meet and never more to part. Someday we'll meet again, sweetheart. Don't cry, please don't break my heart. Someday we'll meet again, sweetheart. We'll meet and never more to part. Someday we'll meet again, sweetheart. Sometimes please don't break my heart. Yeah. Get along about the hour of 7:30 o'clock here at WSPA-TV Channel 7. And we'd like to join Gene Cannon now for a summary of the late headline news and a wrap-up of the weather. Gene?
The skies are dark and gray, and I'm wondering how much longer I can stand it. To go on suffering this way. Remember that it seems how much I love you. Now I'm willing to give you my heart. Now I'm willing to give you my heart.
I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, or by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Then I told that undertaker, undertaker, please drive slow. For this body you are hauling, Lord, I hate to see her go.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, or by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, or by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Well, a pleasant good morning to you, neighbors, and welcome to Carolina Showtime, coming your way from Channel 7, WSPA TV in Spartanburg, South Carolina. All the cut-ups are on hand, really ready to cut up for you. Fellas, let's get things rolling with one called Waiting for the Sunrise. Waiting for the sunrise. We hope that kind of got your day started off right. Here on Carolina Showtime, about 4 minutes after the hour of 7. Time to kind of set the old Waterbury clocks and watches and get them all set for the day. Thank you, Gene Cannon. We're going to have some fiddling. Did you tell the neighbors it was about 8.5 minutes after the hour of 7, Carolina Showtime, in case you want to set the old Waterbury up a little bit? We always try to keep you informed on the time, what the weatherman's got in store for us, and the latest headline news. And our good friend Chicken Hot Rod will be along this morning, I think, with the singing news. We got a news story for you this morning. Ray, bring your old fiddle over here and let's try one here called Roanoke. You got it? All right, a little bit of Roanoke. We hope you neighbors enjoyed. Oh, Gene, come over here a minute. I'm going to work you hard this morning, son, because you look like you had a real good night's rest last night. Fresh as a daisy. That's Gene Cannon for you, your news host here on Carolina Showtime.
What do you got on your mind this morning now?
I've got on my mind how I'm going to get my banjo back yet. That's what I got on my mind.
I'll hand it to you. I got a joke for you this morning.
Oh, have you?
But go ahead and get your banjo, and I'll,
all right.
in between time, I'll give out with a little bit of the Carolina calendar. If you have any meetings coming up you'd like to have us announce here on the Carolina Showtime, just drop us a card here to the Carolina calendar, Carolina Showtime, WSPA television here in Spartanburg, and we'll be glad to get it on for you.
You're running wild. How long can this go on? You're leaving me alone and running wild. You're always gone. My love you never share. It's more than I can bear. You're running wild. You'll settle down someday and find I've gone astray. You'll think of what you found while running wild. I can't go home. You'll have to choose the way. You'll have to go or stay. Stop running wild. You'll settle down someday and find I've gone astray. You'll think of what you found while running wild. I can't go home. You'll have to choose a way. You'll have to go or stay. Stop running wild. Stop running wild.
Live from From the studio of WSBA TV in Spartanburg, it's Carolina Showtime. 60 minutes of music interspersed with news, the weather, the Carolina calendar. Carolina Showtime features Mr. Five Strings himself, Don Reno, and his Tennessee cut-ups. And here he is right now, Don Reno.
All righty, pleasant good morning to you, neighbors, and welcome to Carolina Showtime, rolling your way from Channel 7, WSPA TV, right here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Got a lot of fine things on the show for you this morning. Got some wonderful guests we'll be presenting to you after a while, but first, let's get things rolling with Ray Crisp, the fiddle, and Billy in the Lowground. You'll ever hear in your life. Ray, that's really getting with that fiddle. I like that that twiddle you got with that bow there. Boy, that'll get it every time. If you'd like to hear Ray do any particular old-time breakdown, let us know, and Ray will get it right on for you. Some real fine fiddling to kind of get your toes to tapping here on Carolina Showtime. 3 minutes after 7 is the hour if you want to set your waterberries this morning to kind of keep abreast of the times. Here's the quartet to sing our first gospel number of the morning. We hope you'll enjoy I'll Fly Away.
Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a home on God's shall ever end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. I'll fly away.
We'd like to do that especially for all of our sick and shut-in neighbors viewing Carolina Showtime this morning, wherever you may be, at home or in the hospital. We hope you'll have a very speedy recovery. put you in a good frame of mind. Gene Cannon is standing by waiting. He says this rain is about to get him down, but I don't believe so. Here he is with the latest report on weather and headline news. Gene? Thank you, Gene Cannon. Here's a trio to sing What Do You Know About Heartaches?
What do you know about heartache? You've never been left behind. What do you know about losing? You've always won every time. I've lost again, can't seem to win, but you played it smart right down the line. What do you know about heartache? You've always won every time. Well, I've lost again, can't seem to win, but you played it smart right down the line. What do you know about heartache? You've always won every time. All right, yes, sir.
Thank you, fellas. A fine job of singing there from Duck and Chuck. What do you know about heartaches? If you have a favorite you'd like to hear on Carolina Showtime, neighbors, be sure and let us know by your cards or letters. We really love to hear from you. We sit down and read each card and letter. It's kind of like having a personal visit with you when we do hear from you like that. We try to make the program up from the cards and letters and requests that we get. We want to find the right thumb pick here in a minute, fellas, this morning. I notice that you've selected me to do a number here that's always been a favorite of mine. And we've had so many requests to do this, we thought we'd try to get it on the show for you this morning. The Bells of St. Mary.
Howdy friends, howdy neighbors, come and join us with a smile. We are here to sing the dead anything for a while.
Live from the studios of WSBA-TV in Spartanburg is Carolina Showtime. 60 minutes of music interspersed with the news, the weather, the Carolina calendar. Carolina Showtime features Mr. Five Strings himself, Don Reno, and his Tennessee cut-ups. And here he is right now, Don Reno.
Welcome to Carolina Showtime, neighbors. Hope everybody's feeling real good this morning and all set to stay with us for a full hour of old-time country picking and singing. Something old, something new, something borrowed, and maybe a little bit of something blue. We'd like to get things rolling with a little number here called the Black and White Rag. kind of hope that got your toes to tapping here on a kind of a foggy morning. If you're driving this morning, be extra special careful. The fog is real thick, and we want everybody to get where they're going safe and sound. We finally made it up here this morning. It was real foggy from Union, South Carolina, all the way up. I think I told Chuck it took me half an hour to get out of my driveway this morning, trying to back up. Ray Crisp is coming in. He's having trouble with the fog coming in from Gastonia, North Carolina this morning. He called and told us, and he'll be here after a while.
Thank you, Gene. We have with us this morning a gentleman that's going to be kind of regular on the show, I think.
Thank you.
He had a rough time getting here this morning, but he made it anyway, and here's Chicken Hot Rod.
Thank you. What an ovation. Yes, it's kind of foggy outside this morning. The headlights on my 29 Whoopit wasn't shining so bright. Whew, if I hadn't had 2 boxes of matches, I'd have never got here. I got a letter from my nephew out in Caliwood, California, out west. Said he'd gone into the prize fighting business. Good to hear from him. Said he'd been knocked out so many times, all he had to do now was lay down to go to sleep and lay flat on his back and count 10. He's gone. I had a fight one time, and I said, it sure is a long way from my dressing room to the ring. Someone said, you won't have to worry about that, somebody will carry you back. And they did. I know my nephew says, we got in the ring and my manager told me to keep on swinging, that the drive might give me a cold. That's funny. I thought that was funny. Swinging, you know, drive, cold. Let's live it up over there. About the 4th round, I stomped on the referee's foot and he said, if you boys don't keep off my corns, there's going to be a fight. Is that the best you can do? Yes. My uncle was supposed to fight one night, and the doctor wouldn't let him. His trainer rubbed his back with alcohol, and he strained his neck trying to lick it off. I received a letter from my uncle the other day. You know, I'm akin to all my relations, especially my relatives. They moved away out west, and they write regular once a year. Greetings. Listen, everybody, here comes the singing news with a little music to chase away the blues. Every word's the truth, every line says I, and I bet you 30 cents you can't catch me in a falsehood or a lie. Prosperity moves to Spartanburg. I seen something in the paper yesterday that filled my heart with cheer. There's going to be a $15 million business. Just move right on in here. I noticed, too, that they celebrated their 35th anniversary yesterday at WSPA. Well, I saw on television last night something that filled my heart with joy. There's a cut in the 35th wedding anniversary cake, and it looked good, old boy. As I sat there looking, it almost got me down. When the cake was cut by our president, Mr. Walter Brown. Jane Dalton looked real pretty, and so did Farmer Gray. I guess they made up their mind when they moved here that they was going to stay. They've been here a long time. Animals, they're taking the universe. Well, the jaybird died with the whooping cough, and the bluebird died with the measles. Last night along come a possum with a fiddle on his back, and the crow was dancing with the weasel. And I don't reckon that'll happen again in the months and the months and the months. I don't reckon that'll happen again in the months and the months and the months. I'm going visiting. This coming Saturday night, we'll be in Cleveland, Ohio. And we'll be back Monday morning if we don't get caught in the snow. This rain's about got me down. I've got something in my throat so bad I can't hardly speak. I noticed in the paper yesterday they said we hadn't had no sunshine on the weekend in 7 weeks. And I hope that don't happen again in the months and the months and the months. I hope that don't happen again in the months and the months and the months. I guess I gotta leave you now, my fortune I must find. But I'll see you again tomorrow morning on Carolina Showtime.
All right. Howdy-ho. Yeah, thank you, Chicken. Thank you very much. I think Gene Cannon has got a few words to say, haven't you, Gene? Come on in there.
Yeah, he's a scream. Where in the world did you find him? We're going to get Don Reno up in just a minute. You know, talking about the 35th anniversary of radio, I'm sure that Don can remember way back when WSPA radio was down on Liberty Street. And that was about the time that Jane Dalton and Cliff Gray and all those old-timers, as we call them, because they've been here so long, first joined the staff at WSPA radio. And about that time, Don Reno first walked into the door down there on Liberty Street and asked Mr. Brown for a job. And, of course, at that time, he got his job. And he's been playing around in the area and is quite known throughout this area. So if he can come on in here, I'm sure he can give us a little bit of history about just exactly what took place down there on Liberty Street. 35 years, WSPA went on the air yesterday, and they've been celebrating ever since, and we hope they have 35 more years. You were about knee-high to a grasshopper then, weren't you?
Yes, it was
just a young sprout. That's
it was
what
quite an experience. I was 12 years old at the time, and I remember I started with Farmer Gray on the morning show.
Mm-hmm.
He had an hour from 6 until 7.
And Arthur Smith and all the...
No, they wasn't there
weren't
yet.
Here yet.
No, I was by myself.
You were by yourself.
With a harmonica and a guitar. I had the contraption that went around your head, you know. And I remember how hard it was to keep songs for a full hour. Of course, Farmer, he done a good job of talking, as always.
He always
If it hadn't
has.
been for that, I wouldn't have made it. This was, I would say, I know Farmer had a 1938 Plymouth.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was the prettiest thing I ever seen. And at that time, Jane Dalton was here. And, of course, Walter Brown, the president of WSPA-TV. And a lot of the staff is still here that was there in,
Quite a
back
few
them
of
years
them.
ago.
Cliff, I think memory serves me correctly. Well, he's been here over 20 years anyway.
Well, I'm satisfied. I know he has.
And you've been around the area for what now, 35 or 40 years? I don't know which. Seriously speaking,
You
though.
really know how to hurt a guy, don't you?
No. I wouldn't do that for the work. Look out, you're going to break your neck one of these first mornings. We're going to shoot you.
It's a fine Friday morning. Looks like we're going to have a pretty day today. Had a wonderful yesterday afternoon, and man, did that sun ever feel good. I'm telling you what's the truth. We'd like to get your toes to tap into Ray Crisp, the fiddle, and Devil's Dream. ain't time, can't touch him with a 10-foot pole when it comes to old-time fiddling. I've always said that. Got one of the best touches on the fiddle of anybody I ever heard. Ray Crisp doing a fine job on Devil's Dream, assisted by little Sister Bessie there on the mandolin. A little bit of Cripple Creek we hope you enjoyed. We're always interested in what time it is here on Carolina Showtime. Right now it's about 14 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Then the next thing we're interested in is what kind of weather we're going to have today and what is happening around the world. To keep you well informed on these things, Gene Cannon works many hours working